In this video, we will show you how to convert your Northern Industrial MIG-135 MIG welder from flux core welding to gas welding. And of course, if your machine is brand new, it will just be a setup for gas. If bought in a kit, your MIG-135 should come with everything you need except for the gas bottle, in a sense. We today are going to be using the 10-pound spool adapter. However, your MIG-135 will most likely come with a spool of solid MIG wire. We will not be using this. I do not recommend using it. The solid MIG is probably just fine, but I bought a 10-pound and I don't feel like changing it in a month or so. But as for if you're using the flux core, which used to be right there, it makes a difference to buy the Lincoln stuff or whatever you prefer. But it'll come with a regulator. That's part of the regulator. Hose, that's pretty much all you need, and we will go over the rest of the parts later. Also, if you were flux core welding before, you will have to put on the MIG tip. This welder does come with a flux core tip. I never understood how this welder comes with a flux core tip, yet it can do MIG welding. However, on a Harbor Freight flux core welder, it only comes with the MIG tip. It doesn't really make a difference, but you don't need the extra MIG tipness when you're flux core welding. Okay, so the first thing you're probably going to want to do is open up the door on the welder. If you have never used this before, you will be putting on the polarities. However, if you are going from flux core to MIG, you will be swapping the polarities. So I will zoom in and we will do this. Okay, so when flux core welding, you're going to have your negative going to the torch lead and your positive going to the ground lead. However, we are switching it to MIG welding, so we're just going to swap these, which is very simple. It's just 2 wing nuts. If you want the simpler version, just put the red on the top and the black on the bottom. Pretty easy to swap the polarities. I'm not even going to film this because it'll be super boring. When you're taking them off, make sure that you don't lose the washer and the lock washer. So once the nuts and bolts are off, all you have to do is, oh, I missed one there. Oh no, I didn't. You just have to pull the wires off and simply swap them. Super simple. And then, of course, add the nuts and bolts and tighten them. Tighten well. This one seems to take some wiggling to get in the position, but I will do that off camera. Okay, so once you have swapped the wires, just do the reverse steps and add the washers and wing nuts. You can now remove the rubber cover on the gas inlet of the machine and replace it with either end of the hose. It shouldn't matter which end. You can now snug it up with a wrench. Make sure you use another wrench to hold the back end just snug. At this point, you can remove the metal cover on your gas bottle. It unscrews. And then you will probably want to position the outlet on the gas bottle so that it faces whichever way you want your regulator to face. At this point, you can take your regulator. You can now begin threading your regulator onto the gas bottle and snug it up with a wrench. It doesn't really matter, but you can take the plastic off at this point if you choose to. You can now thread the other end of the gas line into the regulator. The other end of the regulator. Be sure to screw in this piece of the regulator. In my package, it was packaged separately, in a different. It wasn't put together yet, but yours may be different. At this point, you can replace your wire spool with the solid MIG wire. That will be shown in a different tutorial. I currently do not have one on my channel, but I will probably make one in the future. And then you are also going to want to put on your MIG tip. Everything just screws on. And if you were welding flux core before, my inner tip was pretty nasty, so I replaced that because I had a new one and it needed to be done, but yours might not be. So whatever works for you as far as that goes. And then if you do need to go up to the 10-pound spool adapter, refer to the quick setup guide. It has it right in there, step number 2, actually. I hope this how-to video is helpful to you. If it was, be sure to hit the thumbs up button below. Be sure to comment and subscribe. See you in the next video.